Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Gabi. If you didn't know, now you know. And yeah, I look crazy, but you know what? We're gonna do a little get ready with me glow up video because I have not worn makeup in like over a month. I think the last time I put makeup on was when we were in Mexico. And I just want to like feel good and get ready. And I also figured we have not done a girl talk video in like over 2 years. It has to be. And I feel like you guys are always asking for it. I literally can't take myself seriously. I look like Marie Antoinette. I look like I belong in the Bridgerton series. But it's okay. It'll be worth it in the end. I haven't done a girl talk video in so long and you guys love them. And I figured we are very overdue for another little like TMI. I tell you things that like no one else should probably know about me, but why not share it with the internet and be like a little big sister chat? So we got questions ranging from everything, period, pregnancy scares, relationship questions, shaving, all of that, confidence, just like girl talk in general. So the plan is I am not gonna make up. I wanna do this. We're gonna figure it out today, and that's like the look we're going for. I have gotten a lot of new products like sent to me lately that I haven't tried out yet, so I figured we might as well just do all of this at once while I answer your questions and I try to glow up a little bit because I don't know, I just want to look good, feel good. I'm also not convinced that these are even gonna stay the whole video. I've had to redo them like 12 times already, so not off to a great start. Without further ado, I asked on my Instagram, ask literally anything and everything, and I'll answer it. So I screenshotted like some of the best ones. Okay, the makeup's very glowy, so I don't want to start with like a matte primer. I'm starting with my Tula face filter blurring and moisturizing primer. I have a lot of baby hairs around my face. That isn't probably the best mix for makeup right now. Does this look like my shade? I actually feel like that's pretty good. This is a skin tint from Morphe, so we're gonna go in this while we answer the first question, which is, when you get your period, how bad are your cramps? So lately my periods have been my period symptoms, not my periods. Symptoms have been so inconsistent and just kind of like not the same for every single period. So my biggest one lately is my boobs have gotten so swollen and so tender the week before my period. But I feel like that has never really been that much of a symptom for me. Normally I get cramps, but only like basically immediately as I'm starting, like the few hours before, and then right when I start my period is when my cramps are the worst, and they are pretty bad most of the time. Not like debilitating where I can't get out of bed. I know some girls literally have it that bad, so I do feel lucky that I'm not like that. But I definitely have them to the point where I'm like kind of in pain, like kind of just want to lay on the couch all day, because they're just like not fun to deal with when I'm doing stuff. However, I have noticed that the more you do stuff, the less the cramps hurt. So that scenario is kind of backwards, but they kind of like come in waves. It's either gonna be really bad some periods, or some periods it's like I feel cramps maybe for like an hour and that's it. And then I literally never feel them again. But I will say all my symptoms go away after the first day of my period. I basically have like absolutely nothing. Another symptom I get really bad though is like brain fog the day before. I feel like I cannot focus on anything for some reason right before I'm about to start my period. Like I'll be at the gym trying to coach and like I cannot focus to save my life. I don't know. That's a new one. That happened like within the last few years. I never had that symptom before. Okay, I actually really like the way that sits on my skin. But talking about periods, thoughts on birth control, so scared of side effects. So I am on birth control. I've been on birth control since I was 17. I'm going in with the YSL like little concealer pen to brighten up under my eyes. But I have been on birth control, ooh, that was a lot, since I was 17 and I'm now 25. So quite some years, and I feel extremely lucky that I really have never had side effects of it, to my knowledge, hardly at all. Where my sister on the opposite had a like really tough time just finding a birth control that worked for her. I feel like I got really lucky that the first birth control that I tried worked really well with my body, and I really felt like I had no negative symptoms, kind of just all the positives from it, where my period is extremely consistent. Like I know exactly when it's coming, so I never have to worry about that. I Obviously, like, it doesn't necessarily help my cramps as much as I wanted it to, which was kind of the first reason I got on birth control, like half and half. It was kind of my mom's idea, to be honest. She was like, okay, you're like in a relationship now, you're 17. We're just gonna put you on birth control so you just don't have anything to worry about. And I was like, that's awesome. I feel very lucky that I have a very cool mom. She's the best ever. Because I know a lot of people like really struggle with having that conversation with their parent and trying to get on birth control for like other reasons, but then also it's just kind of like a safety net. But I was also like nervous about the side effects, obviously, but I feel very lucky that I didn't have any. So it's kind of like a trial and error with birth control. I feel like you really need to find which one works for your body, which is obviously going to be an annoying process because if some of them have negative side effects, like you have to go through that until you find the one that doesn't. I recommend always just talking to a doctor, a gynecologist about that and really trying to figure out the best one for you because not all of them work for everyone. I do take the pill. I feel like I'm very good at taking my pill. I take it at 11 p.m. every night. I have a reminder on my phone that goes off every single night that just says take it in all caps. I don't necessarily take it at 11 on the dot, but because I just kind of always take it before I go to bed every single night, it's like always around the same time. So I am very consistent with it. I know a lot of people don't like the pill because they feel like they won't take it when they're supposed to every single time, but I stay consistent with it and I'm on it and I love it. Honestly, I've only have positive things to say about birth control because my experience has been really great on it, honestly. Going in with Pixie On The Go bronzer. And the next one is always a fun one. Have you ever had a pregnancy scare? And if so, what do you do? I feel like this is very not common. I've never had a pregnancy scare once in my entire life. Like I said, I'm very consistent with my birth control and my period is very consistent that I don't ever, like my period's never late. It's literally on the dot, either like at night or in the morning of the same day every single month. So I always know when it's coming. I have never had, you know what, I kind of want to look up that statistic. How many girls at the age of 25 have had a pregnancy scare? Really? Only 9%. Why do I feel like everyone is like consistently taking pregnancy tests that I see all over like social media or just like talking to people? I've never taken a pregnancy test in my life. Going in with the YSL Cream Blush now. Putting that on. I feel like we're doing a good job so far on the makeup. It definitely looks glowy and I feel like it's sitting really well on my skin. And next question, how to keep a smooth bikini line. I get this question like probably weekly, either like in a DM, on a comment somewhere, because obviously I'm like consistently living in bikinis and sometimes I feel like I take pictures like close up and she stays smooth, let me tell you. My biggest tip is using a good razor. And my absolute favorite razors to use are always my Harry's razor. Not only are they so cute, they have multiple different color options. This is the like sage green one, but they work so well. Not only are Harry's razors super high quality, the blades are actually made in the factory in Germany where they've been making them for over 100 years. And even though they're super good quality, they're also very affordable. They're a lot cheaper than some other razors where the quality is just the same. Like the other razor companies are just charging more just because, not because there's really any difference. And you're literally getting the razor at factory price. They're not like upcharging it at all. And I just love that you don't have to sacrifice like the quality just to save some money. The starter kit from Harry's comes with the razor with the blade cover. And it also comes with the foaming shave gel, which is used with aloe, so it is safe for sensitive skin. I use my Harry's razor to literally shave my entire body and it seriously does the best job that I could ever possibly imagine. So I seriously could not recommend Harry's enough. I feel like you guys can tell how smooth my body is. So you can actually get the Harry's trial set using the link down below for just $5. So it's like a $13 value and you're getting it for just $5. You legitimately can't beat that. So definitely go try it out for yourself. Click the link down below. Get some Harry's razors. Like I said, they also come in like the cutest colors. I think they have an orange, blue, or a green. Obviously, you guys know this is my favorite because I'm obsessed with this color. So make sure to check them out, and I want to thank Harry's for sponsoring this video. So like I said, good razor, step number 1. Step number 2 is, I feel like if you have sensitive skin, I feel very lucky that I really don't have sensitive skin, and I'm lazy. So most of the time in the shower, I just shave with water. I don't use the shaving cream. But if you have sensitive skin, the hairy shaving cream is great for that because like I said, it has aloe. It's like great and safe for sensitive skin. Using something to just kind of create a smoother shave will definitely help you. And it's also, I feel like, all in like the direction of everything. I feel like I only ever get like razor bumps when I'm shaving really fast and careless and I'm just kind of going like the opposite direction of the hairs growing. So I always shave like down. And I'm trying to think of like how to describe this without doing a demonstration, obviously. But I feel like I always shave down and I always shave extra like around the outside because I know that I kind of use like my tan line, honestly, as a guide of what I know is covered and what's not. So on the sides, I'll go like extra shaving them just to make sure that we're all handled there and nothing's gonna peek out. And then also I feel like the timing of the shave is super important because when you try to shave over when you already like just shaved the day before, I feel like it gets irritated. So I'll like plan out shaving, give it a like few days in between and make sure like literally right before I'm wearing a bikini, we got a fresh shave going on. I get this question all the time and I feel like I'm very lucky that my hair grows within my tan line and I don't really get irritation or razor bumps that often. So I don't necessarily know if there's like other tips and tricks to use, but that's what I do. And you guys asked me. So those are Gabi Fuller's tips and tricks to having a smooth bikini line when you basically live in a bikini all the time. Okay, now time to go in with some powders, even though I do love the like glowy look it's giving right now. So I don't want to cover it too much. But I'm going to start with my Maybelline Fit Me powder and just kind of go all over to set everything. And the next question is, how old were you when you started your period and started using tampons? I want to say I started my period towards like the end of my 8th grade year. I don't remember exactly the date or time frame, but I'm pretty positive. Actually, no, yes, I was for sure in 8th grade. So I started it in 8th grade. I remember I like got it once randomly and then like never got it again for a few months. And then ever since my first period, I feel like I've had a super, well, I guess not my first, my second period. I've had a super consistent period. So it's always been like pretty regular. I don't think I've ever not had a period for a month since pretty much like starting my period. And then I feel like I used tampons not too long after. I would say at first I was definitely kind of scared of them. They just terrified me. Nothing's ever really been down there, especially at that point. But being a cheerleader and being active, like a pad was just super uncomfortable. And I feel like kind of noticeable, which obviously isn't a big deal. Like it's not something to be embarrassed about. But like if I'm wearing spandex, I honestly just felt uncomfortable in it. So I feel like I had to kind of learn how to use a tampon very soon after. So I would say just within a few months after I started my period, I definitely started using tampons. To me, they're just way more comfortable. That's what I still use now. We're gonna transition into some relationship questions. So how do you feel about living with someone before you're engaged? I feel like you were trying to do like a subtle dig at me, which is fine because I don't care. I recommend it. 1,000,000,000,000,000,000,000% recommend living with a significant other before you're engaged and married because you learn so much about the person, stuff you like, stuff you don't like, ways you're not compatible that you would never know until you live together. So why would you commit to a marriage or an engagement or any of that without really knowing if your lives click and work together? I have lived with 2 boyfriends now and I don't regret a single second of it. I am glad I lived with my ex-boyfriend and I feel like it expedited the process of like really knowing that we were not good together. And I feel like maybe that wouldn't have been the case if we didn't live together. And I just thank God every day that that chapter is closed and done and I don't have to deal with that anymore for sure. Justin and I moved in together within like the first few months of dating, honestly. And obviously that was a great decision and we are working out phenomenally. But like either way, I would want to know whether the answer is a yes or no pretty much as soon as you can. Like I know some relationships go extremely downhill the second you move in together, which is unfortunate, but I feel like there should never be a regret of moving in together because like that was bound to happen at some point. So at least you knew before you really committed to anything long term. So I'm a big proponent of always move in with someone before you marry them, because you just learn so much about them. And I feel like it's very smart and important to learn those things before taking that next step. Next one, why not get married before buying a house? Again, I feel like you were trying to do a subtle dig at me. But again, just remember that everyone has their own timelines. I have been planning to buy a house literally since like pre-pandemic. I didn't feel safe moving into a house alone. I just feel very safe in my apartment. So when I lived alone, unfortunately, it market-wise was the best time to buy a house. But I just like didn't feel safe or comfortable living alone in a neighborhood with no like gates or security or any of that. So I didn't make that move then. Obviously now we have fully outgrown this apartment. We are in a great spot in our relationship, and I am still like, I'm the one buying the house. So I feel like relationship wise, literally doesn't make a difference, but I'm not sure what the difference would be if we were married first. Personally, I feel like that would be worse, because we would be spending so much money on a wedding that I would be making kind of like a bad investment before I made a good investment, where I would rather put my money towards a house, a down payment, all of that stuff, which would be a better investment in the long run, and then save up again after that for a wedding. So in my head, honestly, this make in finances, just everything else, I feel like this is definitely the best decision. And because I'm the one buying a house, it literally doesn't make a difference in my relationship. I skipped over my eyebrows, so we're gonna do that next. This is definitely, they definitely in the pictures have their eyebrows brushed up. I don't want to be super dramatic with it because that scares me, but we're gonna try to do that. How do those look? I think that looks okay. I think that's all I can commit to with putting them up. I'm just not used to having them all the way brushed up, so that's gonna have to be good enough. I'm scared to commit to a strict eyeliner because I'm just not good at drawing it. So we're gonna start with a shadowed eyeliner, and then maybe we'll add an actual eyeliner over the top. Next question, how did you know you were ready to take the next step in your relationship? I'm assuming you mean, because I'm not engaged, so I feel like that's like the on-book next step. I'm assuming you mean the intimate level. And I know this is annoying and this is never the answer you want to hear, but I feel like that's really like a when you know situation. Like once you're at the point where you're not questioning that decision at all, like you don't feel guilty about it, you feel like you're not going to regret it, and you're also not just doing it to fit in or be cool or because that's what everyone else your age is doing it, then I feel like you'll know it's the right time. Like I was in a relationship, I really felt like I was in love. I wasn't just like doing it to do it at all. I wasn't pressured into doing it at all. And it was really just like, I wasn't questioning not doing it. And that's how I felt like it was the right time. Like there was really no other feelings I had towards it besides like positive, accepting feelings. There is absolutely no way I can talk and do eyeliner. So I'm gonna go try to do this and then we'll be back. I'm scared. Okay, I think I might leave it as a shadow. I don't think I want to do like a harsh real eyeliner. I think I like the like subtle, like I still did it on my both like water lines top and bottom, so it's definitely like lined out, but I think I like the shadowed look of it, so I think we're gonna leave it there. And next question, this is a fun one. How to keep things spicy when you've been in a relationship for a long time? I feel like my biggest tip is to get out of your normal routine. Like vacations, let me tell you, the best way to do it. But even just like, I would say like specifically making like a date night day, like time that you're just like really spending together one-on-one, I feel like that always sparks it more. Do things out of your normal routine. And I also feel like I got a lot of questions that were like how to keep that like intimate bond when you're in a long-term relationship and like you're just tired in your life, and like finding that balance between like life and intimacy. I've tried to explain this at least 4 times already, and I just feel like I'm beating around the bush too much that it's hard to put into words. So we're just gonna be straightforward. I would say every single day we are really good about physical touch and like cuddling and kissing and just really like being in love with each other without having to do that on a daily basis, because ain't nobody got time or energy for that all the time, let me tell you. I feel like we're also like super understanding with each other when we are in the mood or when we're not in the mood, and we're really good about just like knowing when is the right time to do that, because in my last relationship, that was not the case. And I feel like we would get in so many arguments because I just wasn't in the mood. And thinking about that honestly disgusts me. Like, the fact that that was an issue is not okay in any way, shape, or form. I feel very lucky to have a partner where we have healthy communication about all of that, basically at all times. So it's never an issue in our relationship, which should be the case and is quite literally like the bare minimum in a relationship. But I'm sure some of you have gone through the exact same thing that I've gone through in the past, and every time you say no to it, it becomes a huge argument. Disgusting. Okay, next question, going back to like middle school days. How do I tell someone I like them? I had to include this one in because I'm pretty sure I've told this story before, but I could not tell Justin that. I did not want to be the first one to make the move. We have always had a flirty relationship. Always. So like he shot his shot before. So like I always knew he was interested. He also could definitely tell that I was interested. But when I was single, we would have so many conversations. Like anytime we were just one-on-one in the gym or like wherever, he would always be like, oh, like, how's single? How's dating life? And I'd be like, oh, I'm talking to this person. Like, this NFL player's in my DMs. Like, on Hinge, might go on a date. Like, I would just talk about how many other boys I was talking to. However, little did he know, I curved basically all these boys and canceled every single date because I was so in love with this man that I could not get myself to go on any other dates because I knew what was right in front of me and I knew that I like had to give that a shot. But I was not telling that man that I liked him and I wanted to try things out with him. So he had literally no idea that I was like interested in doing that, because anytime he asked, I was talking about how many other guys, which like were true things. I wasn't making things up, but like other guys that were technically in the picture, in the roster. Little did he know they were on the bench and he was starting lineup. But I refused to tell him. So it literally took our mutual friend Kai. It was me, Kai, and Justin. We were all hanging out. We went over to his house. Luckily that like they're best friends too, so it wasn't any like weird scenarios where I was in. But we were all just hanging out on his couch, and basically, long story short, I'm just sitting there scrolling on my phone, and Kai and Justin are in a deep conversation about how he would like be dumb to not shoot a shot with me and try it out, because everyone knows that like the tension between us has been in the room for years and it's about time to explore it. And Justin had absolutely no idea that I felt that way until Kai told him. I don't know how. In my head, I'm like flirting with this guy all the time, and he, obviously I wasn't good at it because he had no idea. So, I don't think I'm the one to ask for advice on how to tell a guy that you like them, because I couldn't. So, if you feel like you can't, I guess my advice would be have a mutual friend that did it, because clearly it worked out well. And then the next day, Justin reached out to me and was like, hey, let's hang out tonight. Like, let's talk. I feel like we got stuff to talk about. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So, then we had our little parked car conversation, our first kiss, and we were both like, I'm not looking for a relationship right now. And then like 2 weeks later, we're dating. So that didn't last long, but we just like literally clicked instantly, and it was long overdue. I love these kinds of videos. I literally feel like we're just hanging out chatting. Even though I have a camera and you guys are watching me on a screen, I feel like we're in a room together, hanging out, and I'm loving it. Next one, how to get over a guy you really, really like. Flip the script and convince yourself that, like, think of how embarrassing it is for this man, okay? Like, he just lost a girl that absolutely loved him, or like really, really liked him, would have done anything for him, would have been the best girlfriend in the world to him, and he walked away from that. That is so embarrassing on him. So embarrassing. Like, you just have to tell yourself that narrative, like, live in Delulu land until it becomes true. Like, it is true. It's so embarrassing when men don't realize what they have in front of you and they walk away from it. Honestly, that is like my biggest breakup tip always. Like, feel the emotions, be sad about it, and then flip the script in your head and convince yourself that, like, you don't want to be with him. Yeah, he may have pulled the trigger and walked away, but, like, you are so lucky because that is embarrassing. All right, we're gonna do the finishing touches. I'm gonna go in with some Pillow Talk and some gloss on the lips. The final touch. Okay, we're gonna go into the last question. I definitely thought I was gonna like pick more and do more at the end, but I feel like this video is so long already. But I wanted to keep this one to the end because the question is, how do you stop yourself from becoming too picky about your appearance? And first, I just want to say, everyone goes through this. Even like the Pinterest it girls that you see and you save and you're like, I would do anything to look like them. They have insecurities. They have their days where they hate the way they look. Everyone feels this way. It's such a grass is greener type of situation. So once you convince yourself of that, I feel like that gives you kind of a peace of mind of like, I don't need to strive to look like whatever these beauty standards are or like whoever you think is like the perfect look, because they even feel like they want to change things about themselves. But my biggest tip is if it's something like body related where I'm not feeling the best, I always feel so much better going to the gym, even if I'm just doing, actually most of the time I'm just doing a 12-3-30, like walking on an incline on the treadmill, but just doing something little where I feel proud of myself. I feel like obviously after one gym session, my body's not going to change, but I automatically feel a million times better about my body and in my skin just because like I did something where I can be proud of. Like I'm working out, I feel stronger. I just always feel better about my body after going to the gym. And then appearance wise, honestly, I kind of felt this lately. That's why I really wanted to get ready today. I'm doing nothing today. I have nothing to get ready for. I just wanted to look good and feel good. And I feel like I haven't seen myself with makeup in so long that I instantly already am like, look at her. Like she does look good. And that can be the case with makeup, hair, outfits is a big one. Like finding outfits that just fit your body type and are flattering on you. And then also just like getting dressed up a little bit more than you normally would, I feel like makes a big difference because you instantly just feel better when you look better. And I feel like it just tricks your mind into loving yourself more, even though like you did nothing to change your appearance at all. Like you still look the same, but you feel so much better and you feel like you look so much better just by putting on a cute outfit, getting ready for the day. Like I'm probably gonna have a whole photo shoot right now. And I'm gonna look so hot just because I feel so hot. And even though this is still the exact same me that I was at the beginning of the video with no makeup on, rollers in my head, the whole internet's gonna see that version of me too. But like, obviously doing like these little things, I feel like just kind of get you out of a rut when you don't feel great about yourself. But just know that, like I said, literally everyone has insecurities. It is not worth it to pick yourself apart. I have been there. Body, looks, like the whole 9 yards, where there's days where I just want to change certain things about myself and it will literally like, it will ruin my whole day. If I have like a bad body day and it's like the only thing I'll think of. If I'm out with friends and I don't feel good about my body, you will literally ruin the day focusing on that instead of being in the moment having fun. So it's literally kind of like a fake it till you make it situation. If that's the case and you don't feel good about your body, finding a bathing suit, finding an outfit that makes you feel a little bit better so that that is not at the forefront of your mind. And you also just have to convince yourself. And it's like literally fake it till you make it about self-love, because you can literally ruin your day focusing on the negatives instead of focusing on the positives. And you are beautiful and you have an able body that is doing life and living, and I don't know, just know that you are beautiful the way you are. It's okay to not be 100% obsessed with everything about yourself. You guys know I want a nose job. I plan on getting a nose job. I don't love it. But that is not going to determine how much I love myself and how like thankful I am for the body and everything. Oh my God, the volume. Yeah, there you go. Just give yourself a little blowout with rollers and you'll instantly feel hotter. But that brings us to the end of this video. Guys, I look so good. My hair. So this is your trick. If you ever feel like you're picking yourself apart, do a whole glow up. Do something different with your makeup, something different with your hair. 12 out of 10 recommend. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love these videos. I love just telling the internet way too much information, but listen, if you don't have a big sister in your life, I will gladly be that for you. And I hope this helped a little bit. I hope you enjoyed. I don't want to go this long without doing another girl talk again. So if you guys want to see another one, let me know down below. Vlogmas is like right around the corner, and I have a lot of things scheduled in Vlogmas, so I'm going to be super busy. So there's going to be a lot of fun videos, but I also feel like we could definitely do another girl talk video in there to fill a day, and I feel like these are always really fun. So I want to thank Harry's again for sponsoring this video. Make sure to check them out. Everything is linked down below. And I guess that's everything. So make sure to give this video a big like, comment down below, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, all that, and I will see you in the next video.